Welcome to the deep dive. You know, we like to think of ourselves as really prepared storm chasers here. We look at these huge forces, technology, culture, whatever, shaping things, and we dive deep. Not to cause panic, no. It's because if you actually understand what's coming, how it might impact you, well, then you can get ready. You can even thrive.
That idea of preparation, yeah, that's absolutely critical right now.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into generative AI, Gen AI. It's moving so fast, disrupting everything. And we want to focus specifically on ministry contexts, the church. Is it a threat, or is there real potential there? I bet a lot of you listening have played around with tools like ChatGPT and maybe felt just completely overwhelmed. Our mission today is simple. Cut through that noise, demystify this thing, and give you some solid takeaways.
And feeling overwhelmed. That's totally normal. I mean, think about it. ChatGPT just exploded late 2022. Suddenly, leaders everywhere, pastors, nonprofit directors, CEOs, they're expected to have an opinion. Policies even on tech they barely understand. The conversation, it's not just about, is this ethical? It's hitting at, like, fundamental relevance.
Okay, so let's strip back the fear for a second. Ignore the hype. For a ministry leader, someone whose time is already stretched incredibly thin, what's the actual core benefit here?
The biggest benefit, it's about lifting burdens. Seriously. Leaders get pulled into so much admin, endless communication tasks, even basic message prep. AI can actually handle chunks of that, which frees up the leader for the truly human stuff, the things only a person guided by, spiritual insight and compassion can do. Shepherding people, discipleship, just being present.
Right, so it's about using the tech to carve out more space for the human connection. That makes the stakes really clear. Okay, let's rewind a bit. Lots of people think AI just popped up, a Silicon Valley thing from the last couple of years, but the roots go way deeper, don't they? How far back are we talking for artificial intelligence?
Centuries, honestly. If you think about just automating human-like functions, you had automata, these mechanical figures ages ago. But for AI as a field of study, the term itself, that goes back to 1956.
1956, wow.
Yeah, a group of computer scientists at Dartmouth College coined the term artificial intelligence. So it's been brewing for a while.
Okay, almost 70 years of research then. But Gen AI, it felt like it just landed on us overnight in 2022. What was the missing piece? What happened between 56 and now that made it suddenly explode?
The absolute game changer, the thing that really unlocked it for everyone, came around 2017. It was the development, the maturity of natural language processing.
NLP.
NLP, that's the key. NLP lets ordinary people talk to AI using, well, normal language, like you're texting someone. Before that, you basically needed to know code. Now you just ask a question.
That makes sense. It became conversational. Okay, let's not get bogged down in all the acronyms, ML, DL. For someone listening, what's the one simple idea, the sort of mechanical core that explains how Gen AI works? How does it seem to think?
Well, the fascinating thing is, it's not really thinking in the human sense. It's basically a superpowered prediction engine. It literally works by adding one word at a time.
One word at a time.
Yeah. It calculates the most statistically probable next word to continue the text it's already generated. It's analyzing billions of data points to make that prediction.
So it's always just guessing the next most likely word, like advanced autocorrect.
Kind of, but way more sophisticated.
Yeah.
The power comes from the context, from the large language models, the LLMs. If you feed it the sky is, the model looks at the surrounding text. Is it a weather report? Then maybe it predicts stormy. Is it poetry you're working on? Then maybe it predicts turquoise or vast or something completely different. The context shapes the prediction.
Okay, so that leap from just simple prediction to context-aware, statistically rich prediction, that's the magic ingredient. And like you said, we're already using AI constantly. Autocorrect, navigation apps, Amazon suggestions.
Exactly. We just call it software once we get used to it. The prediction is hidden.
Right. So let's shift from just accepting it to actually using it. You're suggesting ministry leaders should see Gen AI as a potential partner. Based on what you've seen, what are the most immediate, hands-on ways a pastor or ministry leader could use this prediction power right now?
Okay, yeah, we can break it down into maybe 4 main areas. First up is text generation. AI is incredible for brainstorming, seriously.
Yeah.
Give it a complex Bible passage, ask for 5 sermon titles that connect with today's issues, boom. Or help me map out a sermon series. Or even read my draft sermon and tell me where people might push back or get confused. It does the initial heavy lifting on structure.
And saving time on that structure, that frees you up for the deeper stuff, the prayer, the actual content.
Precisely. Second area, visual content. This is huge. Tools like Midjourney or these new text-to-video models, they let you create unique images, conceptual stuff. Think about illustrating a tricky biblical scene or an abstract theological idea, stuff that's usually way too expensive or impossible to photograph. You can type Elijah pouring water on the altar at Mount Carmel and get a detailed image, maybe even a short video clip in minutes.
Wow. That makes visual teaching so much more accessible. Okay, what about the day-to-day grind, workflow?
Number 3, administrative workflow. This is a lifesaver for many. Think about meeting assistant tools like Otter or Read.ai. They can transcribe and summarize your board meetings, small group discussions, pastoral check-ins. This means the leader can actually be present in the meeting, focusing on the people, the connection, knowing the AI is handling the notes, action items, summary.
That alone sounds revolutionary for busy pastors.
Yeah.
And the fourth area.
Fourth is accessibility and translation. This is mind-blowing, really. Tools like Agent. You can feed it a video of a sermon. And it can translate the audio into Spanish or French or whatever. Yeah. And not just translate, it keeps the pastor's voice, their inflection, and even syncs their lips to the new language.
Okay, that's reaching people on a scale that was just impossible before.
Exactly. Ministry scalability we could only dream of a decade ago.
The potential is definitely compelling, but let's tackle the pushback. There's real resistance, especially in ministry circles. A big one seems to be this fear around intellectual theft, that AI is just a fancy plagiarism machine, stealing from artists and writers. How do we respond to that?
Yeah, that fear.
Yeah.
It mostly comes from not quite grasping how it learns. AI training is fundamentally similar to how humans learn, just much, much faster. Think about it. A human writer reads thousands of books to internalize narrative structure, right? An AI processes billions of text examples to spot linguistic patterns. It's not copying one specific book. It's learning the underlying patterns that make any book successful.
So it's recognizing the mathematical patterns in successful writing, not stealing specific sentences.
Pretty much. It's pattern recognition and style imitation on a massive scale. And interestingly, there's a deep theological idea that helps reframe this whole technology discussion. It involves looking at Jesus as the tekton.
Okay, let's unpack that. Tekton. I know it's usually translated as carpenter. That gives us this image of Jesus with wood and nails.
Right, and that image, popular as it is, might be misleading for first-century Galilee. The Greek word tekton was broader. It meant an artisan, a craftsman, maybe a construction worker. And given the local resources, wood was scarce, but stone was everywhere. Nazareth was right near Sepphoris, which Herod Antipas was rebuilding, mostly with stone.
So Joseph, and likely Jesus learning the trade, were probably more like stonemasons, working with heavy, complex building tech of their day.
It's very likely. And here's the kicker. The related Greek word is techno.
Techno.
It means art, skill, craft is the root of our word, technology.
Wow, so Jesus, the tekton, was literally a technologist, using the best tools and techniques available then.
Exactly. He engaged with the innovation of his time.
That definitely reframes resistance to new tools, but does that mean we just accept all technology, even AI, with its risks? Is that the takeaway?
That's the crucial question. And the answer isn't just blind acceptance. It's about wise, disciplined engagement. Jesus didn't just use tools. He mastered them for a purpose. Technology itself, it's morally neutral. AI is a tool made by humans. Its ethical value depends entirely on who is using it, why they're using it, and the wisdom they bring to it. It's about stewardship.
Stewardship, okay. But moving beyond plagiarism, what other specific anxieties are popping up in ministry settings about Gen AI? How do we address those?
Well, one big fear you hear is that AI will become a proxy leader, that the algorithm will start making ministry decisions replacing the pastor. But this fear really, it misunderstands what makes humans unique, especially in ministry. AI can't feel empathy. It can't discern the spiritual state of someone's heart. It can't offer genuine compassion. It can help write the sermon notes, maybe, but it absolutely cannot shepherd the flock. If anything, AI highlights the need for leaders to double down on that incarnational presence, that love.
So its limitations actually define what humans must focus on. It clears the deck, in a way.
Exactly. Another fear is the loss of spiritual reliance. AI helps me brainstorm. Am I leaning less on prayer, less on the Holy Spirit? And that's a valid concern with any technology that makes life easier, isn't it? The printing press, the car, they all brought similar worries. The answer isn't to avoid the tool altogether, but to set up wise boundaries and disciplines around its use.
Wise boundaries, not complete avoidance. Okay, let's circle back to AI's core strength, that pattern recognition. How can that help leaders actually understand their own congregations, their communities better, using the data they probably already have but can't easily process?
This is where AI shifts from just being like a helpful intern to a real strategic partner. AI is just phenomenal at sifting through huge amounts of data
Yeah.
and spotting trends, connections that are basically invisible to us otherwise.
Right. I mean, who hasn't stared at a massive spreadsheet of, say, 14,000 user accounts or member records and
Yeah.
just given up? It's overwhelming.
Totally. And the AI doesn't get overwhelmed. It doesn't judge. It just processes. There's a great example from one of the sources. A leader spent days trying to manually crunch numbers in Excel from 14,000 accounts looking for trends. Super frustrating. They uploaded the raw data to a model like Claude. In minutes, literally minutes, it generated interactive graphs, pointed at demographic shifts, and gave 5 key actionable takeaways based on the data.
Minutes versus days. That's
Yeah!
that's game-changing efficiency.
Think about applying that to ministry data. Analyzing attendance over the last 5 years, are there subtle shifts you're missing? Or evaluating sermon topics over a decade, have we been hitting certain themes too hard, missing others? Analyzing giving patterns, community demographics. AI can surface insights that help leaders make decisions based on actual evidence, not just gut feelings, moving towards informed strategy.
Okay, the conclusion seems pretty clear then. AI isn't just another app. It feels like a fundamental shift, maybe like the printing press or the internet, and just trying to ignore it or resist it, that probably leads to becoming irrelevant. The real goal has to be integration, right? Guided by human wisdom, our values, our calling.
That sums it up perfectly. That's the challenge and the opportunity for leaders right now.
So we've laid out the potential, acknowledged the risks. Let's get practical for the listeners. For someone who's ready to move past the fear, ready to start engaging, where do they begin? What are the first steps?
Step 1, absolutely critical. Embrace a learning posture. Get your hands dirty. Fear often comes from the unknown, the abstract. So download ChatGPT or try Claude or Bing Chat today. Use it for something small. Draft that tricky email you've been avoiding. Ask it to summarize a long article. Generate 3 discussion questions for your next Bible study. That firsthand experience, it demystifies it incredibly quickly. It takes away a lot of the anxiety.
Don't just read about it, actually try it. Makes sense. Okay, what's step 2? Thinking about those wise boundaries we talked about.
Step 2 has to be, develop a thoughtful AI usage policy for yourself, for your team, for your organization. This isn't optional anymore. Leaders need to sit down and establish clear guidelines. How will we use this? How will it enhance, not replace? Things like spirit-led creativity, deep study, prayer. You need to articulate the boundaries clearly.
Can you give us, say, 2 absolutely essential things that must be in any ministry's AI policy? 2 non-negotiables.
Okay, 2 non-negotiables. First, human oversight and fact-checking. Always remember, AI predicts. It doesn't know truth. It can hallucinate, make things up convincingly. So every output, every analysis, every piece of content generated with AI must be reviewed, fact-checked, and spiritually filtered by a human leader before it goes anywhere. Second non-negotiable, attribution and transparency. You need to decide how and when you'll disclose the use of AI. If AI significantly helped draft a sermon outline or generate a newsletter content, how do you maintain trust with your staff or congregation? People need to know they're getting human-vetted, human-approved content.
Human oversight and transparency. Got
Okay.
it. This has been really helpful, moving us from just reacting with fear to thinking strategically. Before we wrap up this deep dive, what's the final thought? The provocative idea you want to leave listeners wrestling with?
Okay, here it is. Wise leaders need to engage strategically with AI because engagement is influence. If ministry leaders just resist, if they avoid this massive technological shift, well, they're essentially giving up their seat at the table. They're relinquishing the chance for the church, for Christian ethics, for the wisdom of the Spirit to actually shape how this powerful technology develops and gets used in the world. Think about it. Do you really want the future of AI development to be solely in the hands of secular companies, profit motives, and governments? Or does the voice of faith need to be part of that conversation? Your engagement, your thoughtful use, your ethical input, it matters more right now than maybe ever before.